For some reason today, I wanted to drop a Solar Titan build. Why? I don't know. This is kind of based on fashion, but turned out to be fun enough that, well, here we are. So before we jump into the video, two things. If you guys want more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop more content. Secondly, if you guys want to pull this build for yourself, a dim link will be posted in the description and somewhere in the pinned comment below. With that out the way, let's talk about this build. So for one, it's pretty important to mention that Solar is not in a place to dominate like other subclasses. This will not top Void, Strand, and Arc due to the juice you can add via the artifact. Does that mean Solar as a whole is useless? Absolutely not, especially if you build your loadout around some of those artifact mods, and especially with the mod Limit Break. This juices up our super damage to an eye-opening degree. What if I told you Burning Maul can cook like you would expect it to, especially when you pair this with the exotic gauntlets, pyrogale gauntlets. Now, its exotic perk, Percussive Flames, is a fun run and reads like this: modifies Burning Maul into a single high damage slam of your hammer that creates several cyclones of flame. Consecration second slam creates a cyclone flame. Now, this is a great perk for this exotic gauntlets as a whole, but there's a lot to unpack here, and community research has all the information, but it's a lot, so stay with me. This exotic modifies Burning Maul into a single use slam that deals 650% increased damage and releases 3 tracking waves. Waves create cyclones on impact, which also tracks enemies. Waves apply 20 Scorch and 60 with Ember of Ashes equipped. On impact, the release cyclones last 7.5 seconds, deal 22 damage every 0.2 seconds, and apply 3 Scorch or 5 with Ember of Ashes every 0.56 seconds. Consecration Center Wave creates a weaker cyclone that deals 16 damage and does not have tracking, though it still retains the scorching capability. Damage from multiple cyclones can overlap. So yes, there's a lot here, and this is really good by itself. Now you pair this with Limit Break, and oh man, dealing, depending on the boss, in an activity like Quarter Blades, this is fun and really solid to use. So with the exotic talk out the way, specifically with the exotic armor choice, let's jump into the game and talk about the build. So here we are in game, and the drip is pretty damn solid. I really like it a lot. You guys let me know down below your thoughts on the drip. If you disagree and hate on it, I get over it. I don't care enough about your hatred towards my drip. Only care about your love for my drip. So let's jump into the subclass and talk about what we're working with here. So Super Burning Maul, we're using Pyrogale, so it makes sense to use this. Abilities: Rally Barricade, High Lift Supremacy, and Hammer Strike, specifically because we're using Consecration's aspect. And then you're going to want a Healing Grenade. This is actually really important in terms of making sure that we are consistently using Limit Break. You get Restoration and you get some Cure. That's some Void verbiage, and yeah, it works pretty well. Aspects: Soul Invictus, Solar ability Final Blows, Hammer of Soul impacts and defeating scorched targets create sunspots. Your abilities regenerate faster, and your super drains more slowly when standing in a sunspot. Sunspots apply Scorch and deal damage to targets inside. Entering a sunspot applies Restoration. This is a must-have aspect when it comes to Solar, no matter the artifact, season, whatever. Yeah, keep that on. Consecration, because we want some synergy with Pyrogale, and again, this is really good stuff here. If we're dealing with Unstoppables, this is a way for us to deal with them pretty quickly. Fragments, we have Ember of Char. Your Solar Ignitions spreads Scorch to affected targets, and it has a +10 Discipline, which is great for our Healing Grenade. When it comes to our next one, Ember of Eruption, your Solar Ignitions have increased area of effect. Next to that, Ember of Siegeing. I can't believe I don't know why I can't pronunciate that or forgot about it. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. Is really good for just barricade, and then you see what the mods helps out somewhat, but nothing too crazy. And then Ember of Benevolence, applying Restoration, Cure, or Radiant to your allies grants increased grenade, melee, and class ability regeneration for a short duration. Helps us with Consecration, helps us with Healing Grenade, and all that good stuff. But when it comes to the loadout here, really it's going to be what you want. Since we're doing some stuff with Scourge and stuff, we have Dragon's Breath. I do not have this catalyst up and loaded, so that's unfortunate for me. Hopefully you guys do. We are using the Vision of Confluence. I don't have this craftable. We will be talking about this scout rifle though pretty soon. I think tomorrow. It is one of my favorites in the game with some of the changes, and just for the fact that, yeah, it's a really good scout rifle, and scouts are solid if you want to use them. And then Scatter Signal Fusion, no shocker there. Armor mods. We have 2 harmonic siphons and hands-on, as well as the fact that this is artifice armor, so we got some stuff with resilience. For our arms, we have heavy-handed and font of vigor. Font of vigor to help our 57 stat go up to the 80 range, which is solid for consecration. Our chests, we have 2 harmonic reserves and a melee damage resistance. For our legs, we have invigoration, recuperation, and a solar weapon surge. And then for our mark, we have time dilation, outreach, and Reaper. For the artifact, really guys, limit break is the main one you want. Again, depending on your loadout, you could use a void primary and use something like volatile marksman. That would be really good. And then you can use some of the void stuff. If you guys want to use maybe some arc stuff, could do that. Using bolt charge here would be fine in ideal potentially, but we were going for a little bit more of that subclass synergy and stuff like that. The main one you would really want if you're using fusion, particle reconstruction, dreadful finisher, because you don't have to use special finisher on your mark, and then limit break are kind of the 3 that really stand out. Everything else, guys, depends on your loadout, depends on what you're working with, but that's pretty much the build. Let's jump out of the game and give you guys my closing thoughts. Now, hopefully this build looks exciting enough for you guys to give a spin in Heresy at the moment. I do think this, like my recent Void video we dropped, can be viable and extremely fun for the Rite of the Nine activity that is coming out pretty soon. Of course, this build, like most builds, does depend on the boss type and encounter. I will not go out there and say that take this into anything and you will shred the boss. No, it is really important that the boss you're facing isn't 100 feet in the air. So if they're not in that regard, 100 feet in the air, this is awesome and works in your favor. But yeah, it could be potentially terrible if they're floating, like I said before, 100 feet in the air. Curious here to what you guys think about this one. If you ever want me to make a build on things that are fun, but not at the same time, you know, meta, you are always free to drop a comment down below. I'll definitely look into it, potentially make a build video, maybe give you a shout out on there. But if you guys enjoy this build specifically, be sure to drop this video a like, helps out the video a ton. And like I said before, if you want more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop more content. As always, thank you guys for watching. That's all I have to say on this one. Shadowinja here, and I'm out.